Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mystery Writer speaking, and welcome to the show. Wait, something's wrong. This is not my usual background. Where's my random mop handle? Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I've moved! Isn't that exciting? Well, yes, I technically moved months ago. I've been trying to settle into my new apartment, and I've been busy with work. Actually, that's part of the reason why I moved, so I could be closer to work. Enough about that. You don't care about any of that. What you want is my review of Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm actually a big fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. While I've never actually played any of them, I've enjoyed seeing the likes of Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, 8-Bit Ryan, DA Games, play these games over and over again. Ah yes, I still remember the day when Markiplier was just under 5 million subscribers and Fnaf just exploded in popularity after just one of his videos. And so, because of its success, obviously a movie was going to happen eventually. But we ended up having to wait almost a decade for it. Why? Because Scott Cawthon can be a bit of you know, right? He can be kind of a perfectionist. So yeah, Scott Cawthon really wanted to make sure that this movie was perfect, so it went through several
rewrites until
he was finally comfortable with it. Jason Blum was finally comfortable with it, and it was given the green light. Plus, we had the amazing Jim Henson Creature Shop doing the effects. Was this film worth the wait? Honestly, yes and no. Why? Well, the critics do have some good points. But before I get to that, allow me to explain in a brief summary what this movie's even about. It's about our good old boy Josh Hutcherson, aka Mike Schmidt. That's right, Mike Schmidt, aka the guy from the first game. He's down on his luck. He's raising his sister after his mother died, and his father, for some reason, is no longer in the picture. They never really explain why he's not in the picture, but he's not in the picture. So after, going through
job after job after job after job after job after job after job,
Mike Schmidt is not exactly in the best place, and his greedy aunt is trying to take his little sister away from him so that she can raise Abby, mostly just to get a check from the state. Eventually, with no other options, he decides to take up a night guard position at the long-abandoned Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. There he befriends a cop who gives him subtle hints as to what's actually going on at this supposedly haunted establishment. All the while, Mike has actually been suffering from nightmares, which he's bringing upon himself in order to try and remember a certain event that happened in his past. All while, the little ghost children inject themselves into these dreams in order to try and convince him to give up his little sister, Abby, who's been seeing these events in her mind and she's drawing them out and all that good stuff. All the while, as any Five Nights at Freddy's fans probably guess, this is all an elaborate trap by none other than William Afton so he can try and kill Mike Schmidt.
why?
Because he killed his brother in the past.
Why?
Look, this is written by Scott Cawthon. Do we really expect any sort of resolution or answers or anything of the sort at this point? How many games are we into with this franchise now? Yeah, we're not getting any answers anytime soon, so don't expect any out of this movie, because we didn't get any. Again. What did I think of this movie? Was it worth the wait? Again, I say yes and no. Yes, if you are a die-hard Fnaf fan. You will enjoy all the callbacks, all the cameos. You got Matt Pat, you got Corey Kenshin. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Markiplier because he was filming his own movie at the same time this one was being made, so unfortunate, but hey, fingers crossed for the sequel. No, if you were expecting a masterpiece. The acting is fine, although there are few cases of clunky dialogue and meh acting. The music's good, but I wish there was more of it. The animatronic suits are by far the best part of the movie. And let's be honest, the film is surprisingly more gory than I thought. Although I believe my friend, the horror geek, aka Mike Bracken, would probably give this a generous 2 off of his barf bag rating for the gore. I mean, it is a PG-13 horror film after all. The effects are actually really well done, as well as the suspense and even some of the jump scares. Heck, even some of the kills. I mean, let's be honest, the entire theater just gasped in horror when this one character named Max is bitten in half by Freddy Fazbear himself. Chop! Yet, for everything that the movie did right, such as great suspense, great effects, it also had just as many flaws. For example, like I said, some of the dialogue is kind of clunky. I mean, let's be honest. Scott Cawthon, I love you. I always thought you were great at world building. You're great at creating intriguing lore. I mean, you put indie games on the map, but you're not the best at telling a story. You're not the best writer. In my defense, I have one book. Not nearly as successful though, but I have a book. But the major issue is that this film is trying way too hard at being serious.
You mean to tell me that a movie about killer animatronics haunted by ghost children is taking itself seriously? Why? Why is this a thing? Why? I do not understand. Why don't you just have fun with the concept and give us something truly scary and terrifying? There have been plenty of good PG-13 horror films. Why can't you just have fun with the concept?
So, yeah, instead of giving us a film that was truly fun and truly terrifying, it gave us a character study about one man's trauma and inability to let go of the past before he loses his future, and dream theory, and the psychology of children's drawings.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of this could have been edited out and the movie would have been better, because a lot of this kind of just came off as preachy, overly explained, boring, and even a bit lame in some places. But overall, the film is enjoyable. I don't think it's as bad as critics are making it out to be, but it's by no means the best horror film of 2023. It's good introductory horror for kids. And yeah, there was a lot of children in the theater and they all seemed to really enjoy it. So, Scott Cawthon, Blumhouse, in that regard, you succeeded. Well, that and your box office numbers. You definitely succeeded in that as well. And some people thought this movie was gonna bomb. I wish the story was better. I wish there was better writing. I wish it was scarier. I wish it was gorier. I wish it stuck more to the lore, which is weird for me to say because, one, I don't really keep up with the lore too much, although I have watched a few Matt Pat videos. It's by no means a bad film, but it's not a great film either. So I have no choice but to give it a 4 out of 5. It's average. It's an average film. It's an average PG-13 horror film. But they actually had the Living Tombstone Five Nights at Freddy's song in the credits, which was great. The experience alone made the whole thing worth it because so many people were in it, so many people were like, oh, such a callback! Oh my gosh, they actually called back to that! Overall, it was a good experience to a okay movie.
And this is just my opinion. You don't need to get all twisted up about it.
So yeah, once again, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's worth a watch, and hopefully we get better sequels. Unfortunately, it's average. Maybe it's not worth the wait, because, Scott Cawthon promised so much, and yet, once again, we got more questions than answers. Like, why did William Afton go out and abduct a child, this seemingly random child, in the middle of Nebraska, while he's camping with his family? Was this revenge?
Was this just a random act of violence? What is this? Scott Cawthon, give us some freaking answers already! Just give us answers! It's not that hard! Just give us some freaking answers!
I digress. New apartment, new me. Let us just try and get along. I have been the Mystery Writer, and until next time, Five Nights at Freddy's. What? It's a good song.